Go.
Alright, so this is tonight's tourney winning decks.
Winning?
Yeah, no, I won against.
Oh, you won against Rose?
Yeah, undefeated. So I gotta clear that up. So alright, let's get started. It's Shining Resonance for starters. I run 4 copies of the Yuma, which is like the main engine of the deck. He gets 1k power during my turn, and also his other effect is that on play I get to put the top card of my deck into my clock and search for a level 1 or lower character. So it helps set up cards. So for that, just because it's a staple. 2 copies of his Ognon, 1500 power. He has 2 on-play effects. The first one's on play. I get to pay 1 and ditch 1 card and search for a card that has a resonance effect. And I add it to my hand. Second effect is a bond. On play, I get to discard a card and I get to salvage this card. So it's pretty consistent to get this card to your hand. Then I run 2 copies of this Sonia, which she gives a global 500 during my turn, and second effect is that I could pay 1, mill 4, and for every climax hit, I get to search a deck for a level 1 or lower character. And I basically have to discard a card too. So it's a spammable can fixer, and I run 2 of her. Then I run 2 copies of this Rena 2K. Her effect is that on attack I have to reveal the top card of my deck, and if that card is a music or dragon, I get to add it to my hand, and I have to discard 1 card from hand. So it's a can fixer. Pretty good. Then I run 2 copies of this Excella, I believe it's his card name. 3500 power. So her effect is that on play I basically have to mill the top card of deck, and if that card is a climax, she goes to basically my stop. So it's a pretty okay card. It's just a beater. Last but not least, 4 copies of this. I forgot her name. Yeah, Kirika. I was about to say Karina, man. It's Kirika. I almost forgot her. So she's
don't quote me on that.
No. Yes, it is Kirika. She's a 500 assist, and she has a resonance effect. So it basically occurs at the beginning of my climax phase. I get to reveal this card, pay 1, rest this, and I get to search for this level 3 to my hand. So it's a guarantee searcher, and it helps to just have advantage. Pretty good. So 4 of this. That's it for zeros. I believe it was 16. I believe so, yeah. Level 1s, I run 4 copies of the Sonia. She is costless, 4500. The art's amazing, so that's why. And her effect is that she gains...
That's not the only reason.
Yeah, that's her effect is that she gains 500 for every other music or Dragon Trade character. So she's like in Lisbeth, Kelly, and so on. So she's a costless beater and great art too, Then I run 3 copies of this Yuma. He's 4k power, and he gains 1k for every possessed card that I have. And his second effect is a climax combo with this wind trigger right here. Basically, when this card attacks, he could give my other characters the following ability, which is if basically their damage is cancelled, I get to put the top card of my deck here to my stock. So it's a win-win, I guess. It's okay, but it basically just helps to build stock at times, So 3 of that, only 3 just because I only need 1 out there mainly. So yeah. Then I run 2 copies of this Ognom. He's 4500 power. His effect is on play. He gains 1500 power. And he has a resonance effect which occurs at the beginning of my climax. Like again, reveal this card, I get to put the top card of my deck into clock, and he gains 2k power for that turn, and basically whatever he kills, I get to draw a card. So generates hand size, which is nice, and I could get over something big, I guess. 2 copies of this Excella, cost 0, 2500 power. She gives hand encore to the characters that are in front of her, so she's an assist hand encore. Second effect is a brainstormer, pay 1 rest, mill top 4, and for every climax I hit, I get to search for a music or dragon trait. So plusing brainstormer. 2 copies of this Marian, I believe, 2500. It's a cost is 1k, and if I basically resonance with this, it becomes a cost is 2k.
Why don't you just leave that guy, you know?
I should, because he is like the main just card to be resonancing with. So cost is 2k with this.
Any card that has combos or synergy, you might want to leave them facing up.
Right. And 1 copy of this event counter costs 4k. I could just play this if I either have him or Sonia or Kirika, and the center stays like in the middle slot. But I just have it just for power, and yeah. That's it for level 1s. For level 2s, I run 2 copies of the Sonia. She's a level assist, and she has a resonance effect which occurs at the beginning of my climax phase. Reveal, discard a card, rest, and I get a free refresh. Pretty good card. 1 copy of this Lesty. It's a cost 2500, and it's an fancy change backup. Basically, when I use this card's backup, I could pay an extra to stock, and I get to put the top card on my deck here into my clock. If I do, I get to select the character that's level is higher than my opponent and put it at the bottom deck. So 1 of that anti-changer. On to level 3s. 4 copies of this Kirika. Wait. She gains -1 level if I have 2 copies of this. Oh, I pulled it. If I basically have two copies of this card on basically my stage, she gets -1 level in my hand. So she could come out early, and she heals on play, and she gains 1k for every assist card I have. So it's mainly like a 2/2 just because it's really easy to bring out, and it heals, so it's pretty good. Then 3 copies of this Sonia, just because this Sonia, she's 9k base. Effect is on play, I could reveal up to the top 3 cards of my deck, select 1 card, add it to my hand. And her second effect is that if there is a yellow climax in my climax area, she gains 2k for basically that turn. And she combos with this flirt trigger. And what this flirt trigger is that if this card manages to reverse one of my opponent's characters, I get to pay 3 stock, and she could stand again. So she's a double attacker, a restander, double attacker, you know what I'm saying? So 3 of that, and 2 copies of this level 3 Yuma. He has 3 effects. 2 of them are not important just because I do not run the dragon card, but I mainly play him just because of his other effect, which is on play. It basically is the damage is cancelled. I get to deal 1 damage to my opponent, so that's why I run him. Which I'm thinking of adding a dragon just for fun, just 1 copy to burn for 6. And for climaxes, I run 7. No, I'm kidding. 8, and it's wind triggers and flirt triggers. So shining is pretty okay. What it mainly does is search and hand picks. So you pretty much have a consistent hand. But it lacks at level 3 game just because you don't have enough power, or your game finishes are just barely okay. And this card's like, you need it in your hand throughout the whole game just because you need to be using your resonance effect like hers and stuff like that. But it's pretty easy to get it to your hand because you have a card to bomb with, which is this Ognom. And yeah, so Shining isn't like top tier, but it's definitely, I would say it's a solid tier 2, just because it could heal and bring out, I mean, it could like search, ditch, and it's pretty consistent. So
no card MVP, you know?
MVP
card that helps you, win games.
Climaxes, cancels, cancels, and they help stop everything. Well, no, the MVP should be Definitely, I don't know. I would probably Kiriko just because I play her and I put pressure on basically my opponent.
Right?
Yeah, early play. She's basically a 2/2 because all I need is 2 of her on my stage. She gets -1 level, and she heals too. So early play and heal, and then I early play again and heal, and she could search for her. So it's really consistent, and I could start hitting for 2 soul damage. So yeah, Kiriko is like probably the best, and that's why her sign is pretty expensive. But yeah, and that's it for Shining.
All right.
Yeah.